FCSC 2150 Group Project. Chapter 7 Evaluating Educational Technology and Integration Strategies from Alexis Ridley, Zenobia Hightower, Jasmine Fields, and Leroy Powell. Copyright and fair use. Copyrights are all about the ownership of works that fall under different categories of artistic, cinematography, and literary works. For example, poems, novels, presentations, computer programs, newspapers, databases, films, choreography, drawings, paintings, sculptures, photos, architecture, musical compositions, dramatic scripts, maps, and etc. All these works are copyrightable provided they are original and the author's self-creation. Fair use is used for non-commercial use, a purely factual work, amount and substantiality of the portion used, effect of the use on the potential market. For example, quotations, classroom use, parody, and summary with short passages. Chapter 7 Teachers Discovering Computers, Integrating Technology in a Changing World, 8th edition, introduces future educators to technology and digital media in order to help them successfully teach the current generation of digital students. Introduction. The increasing growth of information and communication technology, also known as ICT, in education has prompted studies measuring the impact of technology on learners' motivation, performance, and engagement. Researchers have generally attributed the limited implementation of educational technology inside and outside of the classroom to at least one of the following factors: inability of education programs to build technical knowledge and skills, a lack of funding and resources, absence of direction related to e-course design and delivery, and limited motivational incentives. Although first-order barriers, also known as direct boundaries, such as funding, equipment, technical support, and training, are all crucial in determining the successful integration of technology in schools, and the second-order barriers, also known as indirect boundaries, for example, teachers' beliefs, confidence, attitude, and skills may play an equally crucial role. The purpose and objective of this Chapter 7 article is all these challenges, including school level barriers, curriculum level barriers, technological barriers, financial barriers, individual and personal barriers, and also domestic and community barriers, are to highlight the need to identify structured and research-based solutions that can facilitate the rapid integration of modern educational technologies in multifaceted learning settings, including distance, face-to-face, and blended, and to support educators and students in achieving their personal and professional goals. In this study, it investigates the elements that relate to technology adaptation, primarily from the teachers and secondarily from the students' perspective, as the latter, including students, are less capable of making sharp decisions and/or facilitating conceived decisions related to their educational empowerment and advancement. Background information. 3 areas measure technology use in the classroom: technology enhanced learning, computers and mathematics, and virtual tutoring systems. Instructor confidence and proficiency with technology. Teacher approval of this type of technology has great impact. The impact would be if one school is using ICT, then another school will. Teachers see if the ICT programs help or not with their students. So, authors use them as a way to make or break their new ICT programs. Support from technology specialists. In many studies, the ICT has had mixed reviews between teachers and specialists. Between 2012 and 2018, two different studies have had negative reviews and positive reviews. Technology integration can sometimes help directly or indirectly. Many teachers require a more specialized support ICT. The digital learning platform. The way a website can be set up can be changed using this digital learning platform. The colors to the fonts and the graphics can be changed using the digital learning platform. Each play a role to who will engage using this digital learning platform. And also certain words and colors can bring different audiences through the digital learning platform. Evaluating educational technology. It must be appropriate and enhance learning in all classroom settings and environments. Must be suitable for educational situations. It must be motivational to not only students, but also to those who have to teach the students. And it must promote learning on correct student levels. Evaluating educational technology sources of information. School districts and state departments of education, app reviews, colleague recommendations, and web tools are all ways that you can evaluate educational technology sources of information. In this chapter, we will discover the ability levels of students. Does it fit student academic levels, or can it be modified for student levels? Evaluating software programs. When evaluating software programs, you will use the software app evaluation rubric. And in this rubric, you will fill out your main information, your configuration information, the rating the software section. You will fill in the content that you are using and also provide the documentation and support needed in order to complete this rubric. You will use this rubric when you use free trials, download and sample light apps, and use rubrics and software app evaluation rubrics. Continuing evaluating software programs using the first is the author listed for the work. You must provide the author first and last name and you must cite the correct information when using the author. Does the author have other published credible works? You must also provide other works so that you're able to relate and compare and contrast different credible works from the same author. And also, the information may not be credible if the author isn't. So that is also why you would need to research the author and ensure that you are providing and also reading through and documenting all of the author's information and other works so that you are not using a non-valid article. In this study, the participants were fifth and sixth graders who participated. There was a wide variety chosen, but the target area were ages 11 through 12 years old. And the secondary students who also participated in the study were 7th and 8th graders, but also the target area was 12 through 13-year-olds. In this study, it was particularly about young adults, so students who were particularly in middle school and also high school, but the focus came down to the students who were directly in the first, ages 11 through 12 years old, and the second, ages 12 to 13 years old. In this study, the methods that were used were research design, and there are 4 types of research design methods, and particularly the ones that were used in this study were descriptive research design, correlational research design, and also experimental research design. And in this study, we also use data analysis and data collection when making studies on the participants who were the, once again, 11 to 12-year-olds and also 12 to 13-year-olds. In this study, the results were improvements in demographics and also computers in education. And with the computers in education comes an ability to apply mathematics to solving computer problems, an ability to critically analyze a problem and to design, implement, and evaluate a computing solution that meets requirements, an ability to work effectively in small groups on medium-scale computing projects, and also improvements were made on technology-enhanced learning, which is like subjects of computer science. In conclusion of this Chapter 7 article, the gathered information provided insights related to participants who were the 11 to 12-year-olds and also 12 to 13-year-olds were the participant views about the integration of educational technology under different conditions and circumstances, which are the demographics that we discussed, which also improved, and therefore, when evaluating the perceived usefulness of the platform, adjustments were made to consider the impact caused, which means that as technology grows, Also, the impact that it causes on the educational system, students, teachers, and everyday learning is also impacted because it can help create a pathway that is easier amongst people to understand, develop, grow, learn, and research subjects, studies, educations, or any education topic that they would be able to integrate the use of technology. Research limitations. This article of Chapter 7 had limitations due to pandemic obstacles, increased workload for teachers with virtual learning, impact on student achievement gap and academic performance, and physical effects from the absence from school environments. So that just means that during the study done in the article, trying to figure out what could help improve the advanced technology in educational systems, is that we were limited in this study, or when this study was done, it was limited due to the fact that there was a pandemic. And at the time of the pandemic is when this study was actually tested the most, and the theory was validated due to proven facts and statistics, which are the direct effect of the pandemic and social distancing, which students were not able to go to campus. So most students were working from home, learning from home, researching from home, tutoring from home, and also if you were able to go to class or campus, there will only be a limited amount of people that were included in the study, which also limited the amount of participants that we were allowed or they were allowed to research in this article. Also, on the impact of student achievement gap, it's because since the research was limited, the result and percentage of the study would be only set for a percentage of the generalized population, since it could have been a bigger number of students who were tested but were not allowed to, once again, due to the pandemic. And also, the physical effects from the absent from the school environment may have been due to students not being able to be face to face when they're learning. So if you're not able to be face to face and you have to do homeschooling, it may or may not have been more or less or equally as effective as face to face learning and being in a facility or environment where students are around other students and are on the same curriculum and are also being tested. But that did not limit the conclusions of this research study, because although the target amount was lowered due to the research limitations, it would have still been around or equally the same conclusion due to the fact that we are still testing the same topic, content, and we could conclude that the results would almost or equally be the same. References. The end. Thank you.